Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zeros on Heroes Collateral Benefit. Welcome, heroes.
Hey,
my name is Mike Mercadal. With me, as always, is
Will Watkins.
Hi, Will Watkins. We're excited to be here. It is Sunday. We're here trying to be here as many Sundays as we can, but life gets in the way. We have to do stuff. But we want to start our week off right. The show's focus is all about the body, mind, and community, all the things that you can do to improve it, and then all the things that happened collaterally to benefit your life when you don't even realize it. This is episode 20, Will.
Oh, wow.
We've hit the 20. We're 1 year away from being able to drink legally as a show in the United States. It's kind of momentous. We hit 20 episodes. Also, if you're listening to this, we've been posting all of the episodes, the audio form, on our audio stream on any podcast platform that you listen to. You can search Zeros on Heroes and you can find Collateral Benefit as part of the Zeros on Heroes podcast feed. For the audio platform, like if you like to listen to us in the car, right? Like if you're driving and you're about to drive past the gym, and then you hear us and you're like, nah, I'm gonna do it. And you pull into the gym, cutting off a bunch of people and then causing a terrible car accident. And then we see you on the news later, and then we get notoriety because the last thing that this crazy person was listening to was Zeros on Heroes Collateral Benefit.
Yeah, it'd be like the music video for Stan.
Jeez. Hey, this is a dark way to start off a self-improvement podcast. Is this too dark?
I was going to say, conversely, it could also be what you listen to while you're in the Krispy Kreme donut parking lot going, these guys don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, screw these guys. We again, just the premise of the show, we got to come up with a way to economize this intro so we can use it as marketing material, because what are we doing, everybody? We're just putting out content.
It adds to the character of the show is to hear us fumble our way through explaining what we do for a living.
There's literally nothing more DIY than like a podcast, right? Like if as a true genuine like OG podcast. We've been around for a while. We've been doing this. I've been doing this for I was looking. If you follow my other podcast, the What's Up Bro podcast, that's been going on for like 12 years, or maybe even 13. Where we've been friends. Me and Nary Science, South Florida comedian, very funny, and he's headlining co-headlining the Miami Improv soon. I don't have all the details, but you can go to the other podcast. But we've been doing this a long time, and it did feel a lot more DIY at the beginning. Like. Everyone jokes around now about how podcast equipment is too inexpensive and too easy to access because of how many weirdos are on the internet having podcasts. But it was definitely not that way when I started. And then when we started our show, we were literally just recording with a microphone in your apartment.
Yeah,
like one on a table. We were sitting there like, don't bump the microphone. Like literally, it was very, very DIY. But what's more DIY than fitness? Right?
Yeah.
Because no other why, like the why in DIY is literally the only one in the hit world that can D your body. Does that make sense?
Oh, I do D my body all the time.
Does that make sense? Yeah. I D myself so much. Like I DI my whole life, really. Because who but why?
I've been D'ing myself since I was in high school, man.
Exactly. Yeah. For a long time. Well, once you that's the sign. It's not age that determines when you become a man. It's when you start DEIing yourself.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we improve our bodies by literally taking action to improve it. We improve our mind. That one can involve other people than the why. I will say when you suddenly have an external someone helping you improve your mindset. And then your community literally involves not the why, but your place, the why's place in the community. All right, enough with the.
I think other people can affect your mind, but ultimately it is you D'ing your own mind.
D'ing your own mind. Yeah,
you can allow other people to affect it, but ultimately it's up to you still.
Ultimately, it's up to us to D our mind. Well, we gotta clip that. Somebody clip that. We are, we would just say reminded me of like when I quit smoking, because there is literally nothing more like you're doing it, right? Like there's no, like they were like, oh, how did you quit smoking? I was like, well, I stopped putting cigarettes into my mouth and right, like it's so much like that's the thing about like bad habits or any kind of like yeah, where you're just literally like like oh, it would be easier for me not to do this, but the addiction makes me go do all of these other things that get that result.
Yeah.
It's the same concept of like no one can really help you improve your mindset if you're not ready to improve your mindset. Same with losing weight, unfortunately. It's anything that's habit building and takes intent and like a certain amount of like I was going to say discipline, but it's not really a certain amount of motivation, but it's more discipline. Like everybody has motivation in a moment. It takes discipline to see motivation through to the
and
conclusion.
The thing about eating right versus stopping smoking cigarettes is that your body doesn't need you to smoke cigarettes, but your body needs you to eat. So it's like, I have to eat, so I could just eat this pizza or this fried chicken, this burrito supreme. But it's not like, oh, I gotta smoke something.
I gotta smoke something. It might as well be this. The whole idea of smoking is I get it, and I remember like I'm not gonna. In no way am I advocating for smoking, but there was a period of time, like if you go back and my wife loves this show Mad Men. So you go back, you watch Mad Men, where they're smoking like everywhere. They're smoking around the children, which drives me crazy. They're smoking in restaurants. They're smoking in cars with closed windows, like all of that stuff. Where, and then they were like the whole first episode is about how they knew it was bad for you and that they can't advertise cigarettes as healthy. But they used to. They used to do that shit all the time.
The Flintstones told us it was healthy.
Yes, children's cartoons had people smoking. Crazy, wild. But I forgot my point. What was I going to say? Oh, that what it was amazing to me how once I then set my mind to it, you start to see everything differently. Your complete, like everything kind of like tumbles, and then you have to kind of I was just walking to work yesterday. The guys outside, they're doing construction in the building in the hospital building that I work at, and they were doing construction. The guys were outside smoking, and I like my first thought was, oh, let me see if I could go bum a cigarette. It's been like 5.5 years that I've smoked, and I still had the like straight up impulse to do it. So you have to like intentionally want to be smoke free at a certain point. And I guess that's how addiction works. Like for the rest of your life, you're always kind of thinking about it, or it's always it's like a forbidden knowledge. I know, like if you know what heroin feels like, that is a temptation that someone who doesn't know what heroin feels like doesn't deal with. But because you're like, ooh, I have a forbidden access to the universe that is causing this problem. Anyway, so the whole point being is that there has to be some intentionality every time you're faced with temptation or faced with that idea, that you have a plan in place. My favorite, one of my favorite quotes, you know how we had we collect the sayings on the show. What last episode was aspire to inspire, when we want to be inspirational. I love the Herm Edwards quote: a goal without a plan is a wish. And there's plenty of people out there wishing, but if you have a plan, if you have a goal, you got to have a plan. So I love that idea. And that's kind of what this show is, my version of that for the week, right? Or until we do the next episode. Because then like we go forward at the end of every week. Let's see, every week we talk about our goals for our body, our mind, and our community. We also have a workout of the week that we like to focus on. Which we'll go over, and then we like to talk about those things going into the next week, how they will motivate us for do a little progress report, check in, kind of like therapy, but none of us are qualified for to therapize anybody.
The internet.
I'm a health.
The internet says anybody is qualified to talk about therapy.
We are all qualified to talk about it. And some people talk about it too much. There's a Paul F. Tompkins joke where it's like, I hate when people talk about therapy because they're like, oh, my shrink says. It's like, hey, I don't think your shrink is trying to get messages to me through you. It's not that it's shameful, it's that it's private. It's super specific to you, whatever your issues are. But it's also like, some people talk about it too much. But we're all qualified to talk about it. Hey, man, we love a good anecdote. In fact, if you have a good comment, get in the comments if you're watching live. If you're watching this in the future, hello. You can find us on at Zeros on Heroes on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. You can find us Zeros on Heroes on all those things, at Mike Mercadal, at William A. Watkins on all of the other platforms for us individually. And we love a good anecdote. Share a personal tale of victory or something you're struggling with. We'd be happy to help you. zerosonheroes@gmail.com is our email address, and you can send us stuff there. That if there's anything you want to work on or anything you'd like to share, pictures or otherwise, you want to share some progress pics, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Send us your favorite inspirational quotes.
Yeah, we love a good quote. We love a good anecdote. But neither one of us, we will say, are medical professionals. I am a medical professional in the healthcare field, so I can give some technically accurate advice, but I would never give you medical advice.
I will say this, though. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the head of health in our country, so I think it's a free-for-all now. I don't think any of it.
I guess so. I guess the rules are out the window because ultimately, well, let's say this. Oh man, it's hard for me to joke about it. I'm so mad about it. so pissed. Because at what point this is a good topic because we talk a lot about like the fitness influencer culture here. And I saw this post. I wish I could like pull the link from my brain to show it to you guys because I didn't save it anywhere. But where people always talk about how the pharmaceutical industry is corrupt and money grubbing and all that stuff. And someone posted that the pharmaceutical industry is like Americans spend $1.6 billion or something on like pharmaceuticals, but they spend $7.6 billion on the influencer, the health and wellness.
The wellness industry, yeah.
The wellness industry is fucking huge. Like, so much bigger than I thought. And then when you break it down, I'm like, oh my God, that makes sense. There is a purely unregulated, profit-driven, like motivated to make as much money as possible through zero regulation or even kind of like peer-reviewed science. Yeah. That it's like cranking out these things. And now the guy who's in charge of healthcare is like the head of one of those organizations where it's like, oh no. We got extra battles to fight now because of this, because of the concept of the notion that that's what is going on.
Yeah, they're worried about like a highly regulated industry. Meanwhile, they're like chugging colloidal silver and turning them skin blue.
Oh man, there's people that were talking about eating borax or something like that. Like,
oh yeah,
as you literally every healthcare professional who's like not a psycho is looking at that shit, going like, no. What are you doing? Like, it's crazy. Like the veins on every healthcare, like who's it? Like there's suddenly people in my family are like, we've started poisoning ourselves with heavy metals. It's like, please don't do that. Are you? Oh, so you're injecting raw selenium into your veins? Okay, don't do that. Like I get it, man. Rub a crystal on whatever you want, but don't put anything in your body.
Did you see the Jubilee with Dr. Mike Vershowski?
Honestly, I'm not. I think the Jubilee channel is a blight on education and debate because it is giving voice to people who objectively are not, like, they don't deserve a seat at the table. Like it is absolute, like that whole thing of we have a climate denying person on at the same time as a scientist, a climate scientist. It's like this guy, there's like all of the science is on this guy's side. They are not equal voice. They should not be given an equal seat at the table. It's a conflicting opinion. They're wrong. It's not that it's a different opinion. They're wrong. so whenever they have like the showcase, it's almost like Dr. Phil, like there was the dude that did bum fights. Do you remember that?
Oh,
you remember
yeah.
this horrible. There was a lot of mail to like in the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of like mail order weird DVDs that they couldn't distribute anywhere else. Like the Girls Gone Wild guy that ended up being a fucking crazy person. There was a thing called bum fights. It's a terrible, horrible thing. That guy was making a ton of money, and Dr. Phil had him on the show. And then that guy shaved his head to look like Dr. Phil, came out dressed as Dr. Phil, started acting as Dr. Phil. And then he's like, you're capitalizing on these poor people by making money off of them. And he's like, you're doing the same thing, Dr. Phil. And genuine, like Jerry Springer, all these people are capitalizing on all this reality TV, all these like they're literally pointing a finger at, look at these dumbass people and making millions off of them. Literally, Dr. Oz was almost a political appointee. He ran for Senate or something. That because of quackery, because of the platform given to him by fucking Oprah, which Dr. Phil is also one of these Oprah people. It's like they're doing this and they're capitalizing on it. And I believe the Jubilee thing does a lot of the same thing for social media clicks. It's just a new version of the same thing. Now, granted, Dr. Mike on there did a great job of showing.
Phenomenal job.
A phenomenal job of understanding. I don't want to post it. I really don't like the Jubilee thing. I really think it's a problem. But he did a phenomenal job showing that your emotional reaction to something and the general idea, the concept of public health versus individual choices, the idea of bodily autonomy, and how certain aspects of bodily autonomy are not autonomy, they are public health.
Yeah.
So, and vaccines is like the big part of it. He did a great job of, I will say, gentle parenting some of these people. God.
I think it goes to, like, doctors and general practitioners are supposed to have what's called bedside manner. And I was like, man, his bedside manner is top tier. That he is explaining this as simple and as caringly as possible. One of my favorite parts was when there's the one like super crazy lady, and as opposed to the other ones, and he, like, in the middle of explaining something very simply to her, said, "Is there anything I can say right now that will change your mind?" And she said, "No." And it's like, oh, that, and like,
what's the value?
That breaks down their entire they don't care what the facts are. They think they feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the thing is interesting because it is, I don't know if you saw I went through the whole thing, but it was like, especially in the first half. The second half was better, but the first half was like someone would come up to fight him, and then he would do a really good job of calming their emotions and then explaining it a very intellectual way. And all the people would throw up their red flags to get that person out of there, because he was doing so well that they were like, oh shit, he's destroying them. So it was almost like they were stopping him before he could get his point across.
The whole premise, if you don't know, if you're watching this and you don't know what the Jubilee show or whatever you want to call it, that platform is, it's a 1 versus 20 debate, right?
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is the debate is about a very specific subject with somebody who's quote unquote holding a variety of positions, who's like an expert, was supposed to be anyway. And like Ben Shapiro has been on it, and he got ate alive by all these people. So they try to present like these different opinions, people who have strong opinions about something, who want to back them up. And then the 20 people around, they have little flags. So when they feel like the what I've understand it to be, I don't actually know the exact rules, but the flag goes up, but when they feel that the debate can't move any further, that they've reached an impasse. But what it ends up being used as is a I don't like what you said flag. And I want to get in there and I want to argue. So what ends up happening is that as Dr. Mike was doing a good job, they would be like, I have a rebuttal. They're not listening to the conversation. They're just trying to insert themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
it's being used as a, oh no, we're losing. We need to stop.
Right,
this.
right. And then there's some moderation, but I don't feel like you hear it off the side, like there's some people there, but it does start to feel, again, it's purely for clicks. It's made to be this kind, it's one step above Jerry Springer, that joke of, who was it that had that joke? Greg Giraldo, where he was like, no, I can't. I don't know who had the joke, but he's like, Jerry Springer was like, "Oh, so you hate Jews and you hate this, and here we have some Jews and here we have some black people, and then of course you're going to incite some sort of spectacle, right?"
Yeah.
And the goal here is to make it more debate focused. But man, it was a hard watch. I'll say anybody. I would recommend anybody who has the stomach to not be like emotionally engaged, watch it. I had to watch it in small pieces and in clips because I was genuinely like part of it would make me angry. Part of it would make me sad, like bewildered as like these people, the life these people must live. This is the part that really made me sad, was how privileged they are to not have to understand the source of their medical advancements that they live in and take for granted.
Yeah.
Right. Like they don't know a world without a measles vaccine, and we're about to rediscover one. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they don't know what it's like to have to deal with smallpox. They don't know why we do the things we do. And because history is long, memories are short. The idea that you can then move, you know what I mean? Like that you could talk shit and be like, these people are evil for the science that they do. And it's like, there is so many layers to this conversation, especially about colonialism and white supremacy and the othering of black people and using them for scientific experimentation, the using Jews for scientific, like the political spectrum, everything is so intersectional that it is impossible to have just like a straightforward conversation. And then these people who are for the lack of a better, ignorant, they just don't know. Yeah. They've never had to deal with anything other than their own little lives what a privilege, right?
Yeah.
And also you have the time to come here and do that. What a privilege.
Yeah.
You have a point of view that you've discovered, I did my research. It means you have internet access or a smartphone, and you have the time to go make your whole life about something that is not really benefiting you other than to grift. That's what all it is a grift. It's all life. If you would have really wanted to do your own research, you would have become a scientist. You know what I mean? Like not a health influencer. And some of these people, you could very clearly see they did not care what the topic was. They just came out and said whatever they had to say. And then you see Dr. Mike just kind of like, how is that related to what we're talking about? You know? Like you can
I will say
somebody gentle parenting.
He was like, it's great too how he acknowledges like so many wrongs that he would agree. The Tuskegee experiments were terrible, and he himself says the healthcare system is fucked up and shit. And he was talking to the Black Israelite guy who was he was like, I got this ankh and we need this. This is what's going to protect us. And he was like talking about like, we need to go back to nature. And he was like, listen, I think the greatest thing we can do for our healthcare system is preventative care and taking care of our body. And they were like agreeing on that. And he goes, you know what the greatest way form of preventative care is? Vaccines.
Yeah.
Prevents the diseases.
Wild. And you know what's funny? Oh, he also had to talk about where they're like, they did pull the race thing of like, you're a white man in this world and they have a different thing. And he's like, well, when my family emigrated here and I was living as a poor kid and blah, blah, blah. And then you could see him go like, go, oh boy, he rebutted me with the immigrant card. You could see it was all about the identity versus ideology. Like the ideology is indefensible, right? Like we need Ankh magic power. Like, okay, I get it. But the second he were like, in your position of privilege and blah blah blah, and he's like, well, when I was a immigrant kid not having access to food, blah blah blah, it was like, there's very little argument in that there's very little. It's impossible. It's so crazy. Like that's the thing, is that like it's so complex, the history of everything. and we talked about it on the show, how we are as the human race very new to knowing what our bodies do, like on the scope of things, like in the last 100 years, and even then in the last like 10 20, we're just constantly discovering new things about our own biology, that we are medical babies, and certain what.
Yeah, like PBS has this crash course series on YouTube. It's very good. They're currently doing one about sexual health, and they got onto the they had one episode on penises, one episode on vaginas, one episode on your gender, one episode on whatever. And when they talked about the episode on vaginas, they were like, we've known about we've been researching penises since Egyptian times, 400 BC, and we've only discovered the anatomy of women's reproductive health for the past 50 years. And it's like, Jesus Christ,
man, it is a dark history too. Like I don't want to talk about it on this show, but it's like it really this is where you start to balance the ideas of like what benefits your life, right? Like how much knowledge and how much education is truly benefiting you versus, man, like I see posts all the time on TikTok, and it's people are like, I wish I was dumb, because you guys look like you're having a great time, stupid people. You guys not having to worry and not and ultimately knowledge is just pattern recognition times time. Like we've just like recognized patterns forever and wrote that shit down, and that's basically what humans are good at. Why I was just watching a show that's like why do humans why can we see more shades of green than any other animal? And it's because we have to, either we are the predator and we have to be able to see the difference, or we have to defend ourselves from predators and we have to see the difference. And we grew up around green. We evolved around, by grew up, I mean evolved. But like we are in a position where I wish I did not have to know all this so that I could trust that the smart people that know things have positions of power.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the truth. Like the whole point of having a hierarchy of people should be based on, I should just be able to live my life and assume that the people who are running things are making decisions based on the betterment of the whole. And that is literally the system that is the opposite of the system that is in place right now, because it only benefits a few, right?
Yeah.
And that's the nature of like, I wish I was dumb. I wish I could go back to not having to know all this shit. I wish I could go back to not dealing with it. I wish the food I ate was healthy. I wish the food that was available to me was, I wish the food that I was taught to eat was healthy. You know what I mean? Like that to me is like, I wish you didn't have to unlearn so many negative things in your life as an adult.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate like goal. Like I want to be dumb again, but because of all of this other stuff is handled, like, whatever.
Which is like always funny to me when the same side that's like, we need to deregulate everything is also the side that questions everything because people have scammed the system in the past. It's like, do you understand that if we had more regulation in the food industry, fewer people would be sick? Fewer people would have diseases and cancers, and if we had regulated the healthcare industry, that people would be able to afford cancer treatments. Like the lack of regulation is the reason why.
How would the middleman make money? How would the businesses? Won't somebody think of the corporations? Yeah,
what we're saying is the collateral benefit of being smart is being able to find out who the bad people are.
Yeah, the bad actors are. That really does feel like the most beneficial aspect of pattern recognition these days is I can immediately and I think I don't want to lump millennials in, but there's people of a certain age who developed through the internet being the place where everyone's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm of an age where on the internet, everyone is a fucking liar. Do not believe anything on the internet. It's just stories. It might as well be fairy tales. Whatever people, and I've been proven right so many times that every influence you see is a fairy tale. Just a presentational, a presentation. So like I come from that era of the internet, and there's a whole bunch of people who are using the internet now and social media where they are like, why would somebody lie to me? It's like, what do you mean?
I think it's actually I know I've seen people discuss similar issues where it's actually millennials are the safest, where it's like we're the ones who say we see something on the internet, but let me check this out. Let me verify this information.
We're pretty skeptical.
Whereas boomers and Gen X are whatever is on TV, I believe to be true. And whatever Gen Z and Gen Alpha or whatever is on TikTok is probably true. And millennials and like elder millennials especially are like, that sounds dubious. Let me check that out.
Yeah,
it might be real, but I want to verify.
I think we need to start defining it as we have the institutional generation, which is the boomers, that their institutions are what they had faith in, right? That they used as their foundational, like their touchstones of their lives, right? Like the church, like they're, those guys that are like Masons, that they're going to be Masons until they die. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like there's institutions. They believe in the big
Shriners.
The Shriners, like all of these, like the people, like the Elks Lodge, all these clubs that they unified people in a certain way. So there's like those people are like institutional people. Gen X, I feel like they're cynical. They're like they doubt everything but in a way that I'm not going to affect any change or figure it out. I'm just going to be cynical and be like almost like contrarian. Like if you ever hear about like the Gen X, like the like that lack of engagement. Millennials are skeptical.
Yeah.
That millennials, they're like, let me find out. Give me more info. Like there's a whole culture of people, and I say these terms because they're just marketing terms that salespeople came up with. But that era kind of and then the like current generation are, I would believe, they're exceptional. They think that they are the exception to every rule, right? That they're like, oh yeah, but not us. And it's like, no, these Zoomers are doing exactly the same thing that the boomers are doing. I got to clip this because this is a thought just coming out of my head that I need to write down. But yeah, like there's no more institutions for the institutional people to really bank on. So they're desperate for any kind of groupthink, right? Yeah. The cynics, the Gen X cynics are desperate to be like, to accept something that they think is contrarian or edgy.
Yeah, and then they all think they're Tyler Durden.
Yeah, they all think that they're they're the people who got the wrong message from American Psycho.
Yeah.
Then there's like the millennials who are skeptical, but almost to the point of where we eat our own young. Like where we're like, I don't know. Oh, the cancel cult. Like everyone is like, wait, but what do you really mean? And are you saying that because you mean? It's like, no. I said that I agree. Yeah, but in your past you tweeted this, because I did research. And they're like, no. What's happened? Like we're skeptical to a fault. And then the exceptional, they never feel like they have any accountability for their group. And then now we're dealing with the people who are bad actors taking advantage of the negative aspects of each one of those cultures.
Yeah.
And that's like the problem that we have. Look, I'm going to do a TED talk about it. I'm going to rebrand. This is going to be my new entire persona online about
I will say
lumping people into the categories.
I do think it's very funny you said that millennials eat their own young, which is funny because none of us can afford to have kids. So
right.
We're starving
or groceries.
We're
starving.
Or
groceries.
We can't afford
eggs. Yeah, we got to eat our own young.
What I do think is interesting to see about
what do you think the macros on a baby are?
Bro, so much protein, bro. So much protein. Got to be at least more than a rotisserie chicken, right?
Gotta be. This is a nightmare out of context.
Now I'm just like picturing like babies spinning in a case.
No, shut up! Oh boy! Oh god!
Oh, this one's moho.
This is all metaphorical. Please be a metaphor. Oh my god, we are on a list of some kind now. Good lord.
What do you? I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with Gen Z because I don't know if you saw this the favorability rating of Donald Trump with the different generations, and they showed that prior to the election, the favorability for Donald Trump with Gen Z was +5. And now, after the tariffs and all this stuff has happened, now it's -20. And that's like the biggest drop out of any generation. So it's like, did they just find out after they fucked up?
Well, they fucked around and found out, because again, if you walk around thinking that you are the exception to every rule, and then you realize that you are not, you have to be shown these things. You have to learn. Y'all gonna learn today. That's the find out part, where like every single one, like again, if you're constantly skeptical to the point where you're canceling people who are genuinely trying their best to affect change, like when those ladies came on stage in 2016 when they bombarded Bernie Sanders' campaign. I don't know if you remember that they came in and he just and it's like, no, that's the wrong, you're fucking around, you're gonna find it. And that was like the Democrats not platforming the most popular candidate. They fucked around, you know what I mean? Like, and that aspect of like the fucking around is the assumption that you are exceptional. The assumption that like when people in my family who are, I don't vote, I'm not going to vote, I'm not going to be involved, whatever, and then afterwards they're like, because it doesn't affect them. In the past, it hasn't affected them because they're in the middle class. But then suddenly it's like, my immigrant family is at risk of something. My taxes are going up, on my property taxes are going up. Suddenly you realize that you are not, like, you can't be as hands off. And you, like, I don't know. That's my assumption. All of this is theoretical. I am not a professional. We disclaimed it like hard.
Anybody can be a professional now. We got a Fox News anchor.
That's true.
Head of defense.
That's my self-doubt. That's my skeptical. Like, I'm even self-skeptical, or like, maybe I should be. It's like, no, you're okay. You can say whatever you want.
The people with imposter syndrome have never been more like, we need to eliminate that shit.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome is something that other people put into you so that you don't actually, like, the people with imposter syndrome are usually the people that should not have it, and the people with way too much the Dunning-Kruger people are the ones that should have imposter syndrome. You should realize what a phony you are right now. Like, shut up. But that's neither. Hey, this is a fitness podcast, right?
We fitness all this knowledge in your heads right now.
Yeah, with fitness ideology in your mouth. But it's true. Like, it is amazing. I will say this, because of the Dr. Mike thing, and because of the Jubilee, because of all of the influencer culture, and how it's been like the fitness influencer to alt-right pipeline is very real. Yeah. The gym bro, like this, the everybody knows, like, those, all of those, like, masculinity, the manosphere to alt-right, like, is the alt-right. Like, it just is. But like fitness and weight training into the alt-right, like, there is that whole like vicious cycle of it all, because because of the algorithms of social media pump that stuff into you. Because of that, they don't want debate, they want engagement, bum fights style. Is that we've come full circle. Like, it's all intersectional. So with that basis, we gotta, figure out, what are we gonna do? How do we improve our lives?
I've seen because I follow these fitness people. There is a divide right now with the fitness people, where it's like, I mean, I feel like a lot of it was people talked about the pipeline, so they all write through the fitness community, where it starts off with, I want to improve myself to be the best person I can be. And then some people go beyond that and just say, I want to prove I'm better than everybody else. It's no longer introspective. Now it's, I need to assert my authority because I'm so special, just like you were talking about. It all
it's the C+ students in high school going on to become cops.
Yeah.
The power tripping cop like mentality.
But there is like a good pushback, where there is a lot of people who are saying, fitness is political. A lot of people are saying that, like Simu Liu just posted a shirtless photo of himself in the gym and was like, it's a piece of shit. Like, I love this pushback now, where there's all these like very fit dudes, muscular dudes, jacked dudes who are like, nah, man, women deserve to have control over their own bodies. Yeah, man.
There's you know what I love also, and we could. This was actually getting us into the fitness side of things before, like we're so
Let's
off the rails, but it is,
baby.
No, but it is true. Like, I'm a huge fan of the nerd fitness guys who are incorporating like Dungeons and Dragons and Lord of the Rings. Like, there's a whole bunch of nerds out there who also do fitness. So you see, like, there's like a guy online who's got this like a Final Fantasy VII sized sword. And he's like, my training is that I'm going to swing this thing around until I can swing it around like this anime character. It's like this giant, it's like as tall as he is, and it's like like pure metal. It's got this big giant hand, and he's just like, Gah! And he's like swinging it around, and it's like that guy is gonna get in mad strong shape, like crazy shape, and his source of his motivation is nerd shit, and I love it. There's a guy named Tank Tallman on his name is Tank Tallman, and he's the guy he's the hammer guy, but he's basically like fit, like he at a certain point he was doing like fitness routines based around which fantasy thing you like, or which D&D class you are, or which like he and it's basically like, yeah, you're a nerd, but that doesn't mean you have to exclude fitness from your life, which I feel like the jock nerd debate has always been there. Or it's the old debate is as we've moved past it, is what I'm saying. It's now there's nerds working out.
Because there were a lot of especially on YouTube, there's a lot of workouts to look like this superhero, but like 90% of the time it's to look like Chris Hemsworth or to look like Henry Cavill. But I'm like, all right, show me the video where you look like Rob Liefeld's Captain America with that massive chest. Where's that video? Where's the one that teaches you how to look like I want Psylocke's hips, or I want
but I will say this. I will preface this by saying that this can veer into the like body dysmorphia aspect of you're trying to look like an animated character. And one of the things that I genuinely enjoy about some of these approaches is that the ones that aren't about looking like the person but doing what the person does. Train like Goku. Train like Saitama from One Punch Man, which is I don't know if you know, that workout routine has gone around
like
where it's up
100.
It's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 10 kilometers. You run 10 kilometers every day. You run a 10K, and this is every day. And this is going to pivot directly into recapping our stuff, because last week my body goals were to focus on push-ups and body weight.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I have not been to the gym in 2 weeks. I feel stronger than I have in a long time because I've been doing push-ups at work. And when I'm home, I every like, do you know what Pomodoro productivity concept is?
I just know Pomodoro because it's a type of pasta.
It's a tomato sauce. Pomodoro is a type of sauce. But it takes 25 minutes. They talk about to cook the tomatoes takes a certain amount of time. That timer is enough for you to focus for a little while. When that timer goes off, you take a break, you go take 5 minutes off, and then you come back. So it's basically like segmenting your productivity and your tasks into increments like that. It's very much like when boxing, like gyms have the ring timers, so that you can hear the minutes going off, so you know where you are. So if you hear the third ring before the end of the round, you know to push harder, like that sort of thing. It's like that, but for productivity. Now, I have been, my wife is working again, so I've been trying to do more stuff at home on my days off because I can, focus and do all that stuff. But then my ADHD gets the zoomies, and I start going all over the place. So I started using this technique. When the Pomodoro timer goes off, sometimes I bang out some push-ups. Sometimes I bang out some squat. Like literally, like the equivalent of like doing push-ups at the commercial break of a TV show. That kind of thing. So I haven't been to the gym in a minute, but I have been, I don't know, like I genuinely feel more stable in my body, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I kind of like it. I kind of dig it.
There is the concept of what's called a deload or deload week, especially where it's you need to allow, if you've been going to the gym for a certain amount of time, you need to give yourself rest, like legit rest, where you're not lifting heavy, or you can do what's called active recovery, where you're doing just enough activity to get blood flowing into the muscles without tearing them apart again. So it's like it's helping to rebuild your muscles, recalibrate your central nervous system, so you no longer have CNS fatigue, so that your joints can heal themselves. So there's the concept of a deload week, or sometimes it's even like 2 to 3 weeks. Like a lot of people, weightlifters, will take like 2 to 3 weeks and go on vacation, where they're like, I'm not even stepping foot in the gym. I'm going to go to Jamaica. I'm going to eat a ton of jerk chicken. I'm going to have fun.
That sounds fantastic right now. Not even the Jamaica part. I'm just like, ooh, jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken, yeah.
Tasty. Interesting. What do we have?
Yeah, so you're probably what's happening right now is you did good body weight exercises, which was like your active recovery, and it healed up whatever damage you did by lifting in the gym for that extended period of time. So like if you went back to the gym like this next week, you could probably lift heavier than you did because your muscles have recovered and now you have this new strength.
Oh, interesting. You want to know what it is? It's also, I am 6'3", 6'4", 280 right now. So I feel like I might actually be doing more weight than the machine. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was doing light, and I feel like this encouraged me to go even heavier at the gym I wish I knew how much my push-up weight is. I don't know if I could put my hands on a scale and that would be accurate. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what is my body weight bench? You know, like what am I benching?
Because technically you're not lifting everything with your pectorals, because you are using your plank, your core, your obliques, your serratus. Like you're using all of your muscle. So it's like,
but you're lift. That's holding your body, but the weight of your body connects to the earth through your hands. The same way the weight of the weight connects to your body through your hands. I just want to know what that translates to, because I imagine it's less than half, or I don't even know what I don't know. I really don't have a format for it. Even like a frame of reference. But I will say that I have felt progress in how many push-ups I can do, and the form in which I do them. I use those hand grip things for the I have wrist problems, so I use those hand grips. And I've been using them to really kind of get like what you were talking about, where you get the depth so with the handle grips, I don't know if you can still hear me, but if the handle grips, I can go like deeper and actually get my chest to touch the ground, because the handle grips are.
Yeah, because they're like slightly elevated.
Yes, so I don't have them here. But what I do is they make fun of me at work now because I bring them to work, and whenever there's like a I get up to go to the bathroom on my way back, I grab them and I just bang out like 10, 15 push-ups. I did the math. I did like 75 push-ups in one shift, just like incidentally, collaterally benefiting from the fact that I just decided to do a couple push-ups. I don't know. So I feel fully successful in my focus of my body focus for last week. I feel fully successful that was my workout of the week last week, because it was push-ups at every level, angle, like the angle push-ups, because I've been doing that as well. So I feel like super accomplished in this week of my push-ups. I genuinely feel like it is like the what do you want to call it? The Rosetta Stone of fitness. Like it feels like such a good foundational thing. Like just being able to push your body up off the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's something poetic about that. Like, get yourself up off the ground. Like, come on, you can. Like when you get knocked, it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. Like all of that motivational shit is a push-up. That's what it is. It's just push-ups. Put that on a t-shirt. It's all about the push-up.
It really is. It really is a total full body exercise. So I think it is the ultimate test of strength.
Yeah, well, and you were also talking. So let's just go over. My body focus last week was to focus on push-ups. Your body focus. How did you feel? You upper pecs, man cleavage. That was something you wanted to kind of really get into which I guess I did. I focused on that too.
Yeah, dude, if you put your feet up on like a chair or a table, the higher the incline, it's going to hit more of your upper chest there. Yeah, it's good. I've been playing around with it. Been obviously incline chest press is the bench press is the best for that. But I've also been doing a lot of cable stuff where it's if you actually twist your instead of having if you do like a supinated grip instead, where it's your palms are up and you go like that, you're gonna hit more of your chest. You can even do that with barbells or dumbbells. Really, if you do, you're always gonna hit your upper part if you do a supinated grip. Trying out different styles of fly, different angles of how I put my chest when I'm doing those flies on the cables. So it's playing around, experimenting. So far, so good.
So far, so good. It really is interesting how, even if we don't talk about it again for the rest of the week or whatever, that was in my head. Did you feel that? Like, do you feel like the benefit? Because I keep thinking about, we record these, we would be doing this if no one watched. We would be doing this if no one interacted with us. We would be doing it because we like, this is something our goals are aligned and like focused on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like was that something you were consciously doing throughout the week, or because we had talked about it, it was just incidental in your plan?
I think talking about it, saying it out loud, there's two ways that always happen when you say something out loud. If you have a grand plan and you're like, I want to, sometimes you can say it out loud and it won't come true because you feel like you've already achieved that victory by saying it out loud to somebody. Like, oh, I'm going to start a business. And it's like, but then like you never really work on it as hard as you get
the dopamine result from the idea, not the execution.
Yeah.
Right. From sharing the idea. Like, you know what? I'm going to quit smoking. That's great. Awesome. And then a week later you're like,
but I think
you're like, I got the energy. I got the thing.
Because if I were to have said, oh, I'm going to get in shape. Hey, good for you, man. Yeah. But because I was more detailed about how I'm going to achieve this very specific aspect, it's almost like you're amping yourself up. So if you just say the goal, it may not come true, but if you're more detailed about it, where you're like, I want to target this, and here's my plan to achieve that, then it'll just saying it out loud will amp me up, where it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to the gym and do incline flies. And then it's like, then I can coast on that for the next week or two. Because I've amped myself up about how excited I am to achieve this direction and this way to go.
I do think that the concept of a battle cry feels primal and beneficial. Like there is a reason why people invoke battle cries in their anything. Even like mantras and positive affirmations or whatever you want to call it. There's something about saying something out loud into, what people talk about. I'm saying it into the universe.
Yeah.
But what you're really doing is saying it to yourself out loud and experiencing it through another sensory process.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's forming the word. It's very similar to what I equate it to going to an open mic. I had a good joke in my head. And then when I said it out loud, it makes it real in a different way where I'm like, oh, that's not what I've been thinking about it all week. But the second I said it out loud, I realized something different about it.
Yeah.
Whether it's the reaction the audience gave me, whether it's me trying to put the words together and I'm like, no, that's clunky. I have to say it a different way. Or whatever it is, saying something out loud changes it. Or like when you have a problem that feels so huge and then you finally tell someone else and then you're like, well, I guess it's not that big. But it was rattling around for so long as this monumental thing. And then when you say it out loud, you're like, oh, I sound like I sound like an idiot. I sound dumb. You're like, oh, right. I guess it's not that bad. And then you move on, like that. It puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
I genuinely have I like that idea of battle cry, that it does something.
Everybody needs a Wakanda forever.
Everybody needs a Wakanda forever episode title. Boom.
By Grabthar's hammer, I will do
everyone needs a Wakanda forever. by Grabthar's Hammer, great one, super specific. You will find your tribe of people immediately if you say that out loud and someone's like, hey, you're like, that's my friend now. We are friends, you know? But yeah, so you feel like you accomplished your body goals for this week. How do you feel like it impacted your mind? You said you wanted to face anxieties and be the guy dancing in the field. If you watched last episode, we talked about the first follower, and they showed a video about a guy who's some weirdo in a field at a festival. It's Coachella this weekend, so there's probably a lot of weirdos dancing in fields. But like then everyone's like, ugh, that guy's being weird, until some second person came up, starts dancing with him, and basically is like, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm supporting it. Let's be the first follower, which is the concept of the first follower. And then it gives other people, oh, it's safe. And then now they can do the crazy activity safely. But to be the first guy dancing in the field, or the first follower that sets the pattern, now that's what you were saying you wanted to be. How did you feel in that context? Did you feel like you were facing your anxieties and or being the guy dancing in the field?
Yeah, there was because I switched gyms, there was at my old gym that I would do ab work on a back extension machine, which is, I think people call it like a Roman chair, where usually you would use it for either your glutes or use it for lower back. Some people like myself, I like using it for doing some ab work because it helps stretch out your abdominal fascia. And because I'm a tall fella, it really helps me do that. And when I would do it when I used to go to Planet Fitness, that machine was on the second floor in the corner. So it was kind of like I could be there by myself, because it is like an awkward looking thing where you got to like bend down backwards. And especially since I'm so tall, I take up a lot of space when I do it. And and that
large movements attract attention.
Yeah.
And when you're doing like,
because it is a little thing where I'm like, I don't want to seem like I'm peacocking. Like, I don't want people to think I'm doing this for attention. Like, I am doing this
is the imposter syndrome. You have the body of a peacock. Peacock it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. There's nothing wrong with you doing the thing that got you the peacock body.
Yeah.
You should peacock. Don't imposter syndrome. Also, you're doing it not to peacock. You're the one actively. You're not doing. Never mind. This is literally what we were talking about earlier.
But anyway, so at my new gym, that machine is not in the corner. It's smack dab in the middle between the two bench presses, which are the two most popular machines. So this whole time I've been like, I want to do it, but I don't want to be in the middle of everybody. It's like literally smack dab in the middle of like 4 or 5 of the most popular machines. So it's like I have to be literally the center of attention to do this, but I don't want to seem like I want to be the center of attention. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it, because I've been neglecting it. And people looked at me, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit anymore. In fact, I think
should not give a shit.
Just like I was talking about before we record, I think some people were looking at me inappropriately. But, you know, I threw a towel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I threw a towel on top of my front, and I just went ahead. And I did it. And I'm glad I did it, because
you talking about because when you bend back, your dick is visible, your bulge is out.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about. Oh.
So now I'll take a little hand towel and I'll tuck it in front of my.
Well, think about it this way: imagine if it wasn't visible.
I'm literally peacocking.
You're literally There's your show cocking is what it is. Imagine if you didn't have to worry about it. We were like, no one's gonna see it anyway. No matter what I do, because of the sheer volume is too small. But you're in a position where people can see the what is the from Superbad? I can kind of see the outlines of the shape of the mold of your dick in those pants.
When I took the towel in front of my pants, I was like, shout out to the gym girlies, because like they do that a lot of times when they do like the abductor and adductor routine. I was like,
the objectification. Yeah.
We tucked this in there. Good. Shout out to them. Thanks for the idea, ladies.
Shout out to them. Yeah, it's a shame that it has to happen, but from what we talked about before, that will not be on the podcast. It's justified, because you just experienced a taste of it, and it was like goo. Yeah. Oh boy. So in terms of my mind, literally we're just talking about, okay, great. I love when things kind of feel like threaded, because my mind goal for last week was no self-clickbait headlines, where it was like, I didn't want to have the clickbaity headlines of the negative engagement stuff. You know, the algorithms, we were talking about it with the Jubilee, where it's just like these negativity things where I wish I was dumb and all that stuff. There's a certain trade-off where you can like psych yourself into negativity. And I've been dealing with a lot of stuff at work and like some stresses and stuff like that. And I've been trying to be as objective in my algorithming of my own, my pattern recognition of my own life, where certain things don't matter, certain things do, and trying to really kind of objectively determine those things as opposed to headline those things, which I guess is a struggle. Man, there's this car outside with an alarm that keeps going off like every time a motorcycle goes by. My wife and I are ready to go like sledgehammer that thing like Street Fighter 2 bonus level style. Like we hate it. It sucks so much. And as somebody with ADHD, that shit just derailed me entirely. What was it that I was saying about
clickbait in your brain?
Clickbait in my brain. I genuinely feel like it's hard to do because I am in social media so much, and I do end up watching TikToks. I've really made it a point to where, like, I'll say that this week I did a lot of not like blocking for like I blocked content. I blocked the channels of content where I'm like, this is manipulative. Blocked. I'm not just straight up skipping, like actively removing them from the possibility of returning in my time. I know it's like impossible. It's like a finger in the dike kind of thing of like, the water's gonna find another way in. But it felt very actively like this is a problem. And then I started recognizing it in more things where I'm like, let me just remove it and blocked, like block. Any site. This is a big pet peeve of mine. Anybody who does a video where they're just reposting another person's video with their account, and they're just going like, well, you see this shit? Oh, look at that. Or they're pointing at the green screen video where they're like, I hate it. I cannot stand it. I block it. And I'll go click through to the real if they tag them and credit the original creator, I will skip their thing, go to that original person and follow them. And be like, fuck you, and then block the other one because it's so dumb, it's so gross. I do not like it. But I've made those active efforts. So like it felt like a thing I was intentionally doing. And I don't know if it helped or didn't, but it does feel like I've made like it's helped me organize my thoughts, especially at work. Like because we've been dealing with like a lot of anti-union activities from the place I work. But I'm not going to say the name. I'm still afraid of lawyers. But it's helped me kind of not like the clickbait is not the important part. The actual real stuff is the stuff we need to be focusing on. What about you? You said last week. Well, oh no, that can't be right. Last week, you said to be a part of your community, that whole aspire to inspire, that's where that came from. You wanted to be the guy in the field. Have you influenced any people in your gym that were at the bench press area to come do the Roman chair ab workouts? Have you done your peacocking? Has your peacocking attracted any peahens, is what I'm saying.
I did notice 2 different people start to do similar movements to myself that I had not seen them do before. I don't know if it's a direct thing or if they just happen to want to try it out, or if it's something they hadn't done in a while, so I don't want to take credit for it. But I did notice I will also say that one of them was doing it horribly with terrible form. And I didn't want to say, hey, this is how you can improve it, because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But maybe if I keep doing it, they can correct themselves if they see me doing it again.
The only time I've ever done that at the gym is to ask people, hey, do you experience any pain when you do it that way? I think you might be hurting yourself. Especially like someone was doing bent over rows in a way that I was like, full arched back, where I'm like, your spine is gonna shoot out your butthole. Like, don't do that. But I didn't want to be that guy, so I was like, hey, when I do bent over, I get pain in my back when I do what. Like, do you find it more comfortable in that position, or do you have any pain in that position? And he's like, oh, well, and he's like, yeah, I should probably be doing it more. I was like, no, I was just curious. And he's like, yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point. Because then it seems like they thought of improving their form and not me. Yeah. Or maybe they weren't fully aware of it. But I can see how, like, it's a tread lightly situation for sure.
Yeah. The only time I used to do it was when, because I used to go to Planet Fitness every summer. High school kids can get it for free. So there was a lot of dumb fuckery going on, especially people trying to do like TikTok exercises and whatnot, or lifting heavier than they should be doing. And I would be like, hey, reduce that weight by half. Like, you're doing
half. Wow.
You're doing like quarter reps and you're putting your life in danger. But I didn't say it like that. I was like, hey, hypertrophy can go anywhere from the 6 to 30 rep range. So you don't need to do 1 to 2 reps at that weight. You can go lower and do full range of movement.
The irony is that you could actually say, like you saying that, it's the Dr. Mike Israetel video of, like, you want to know what the best rebuttal for any argument? Big arms. And he's like, oh, you think that whatever? Fuck you, big arms. Like, you're the kind of person that could be like, hey, you could reduce that weight by half, and then be like, well, that's what I do. Like, and they're like, they cannot argue. This goes back to the beginning of the episode, the DIY of it. You're the only one that DI'd your why. You know what I'm saying? So they have to at least listen to you and be like, well, as a teenager, of course they don't, but I would imagine that you carry more weight with your suggestion than someone who does not look like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's if anything, this is just me hyping you up, because it's like, hey man, that imposter syndrome, you are 100% not an imposter. You are the guy.
You know what I think?
You're my guy. You're the guy I go to, because that's who you are. So, like, if you ever doubt yourself in any way, just be like, just stand in the mirror and tell yourself, "Fuck you, big arms," because that's what you've worked for.
You know what I will say? I do think a lot of people who have imposter syndrome get it from people who have not enough imposter syndrome, where their ego is too big for them. I remember one time I was at the gym and bunch of high school kids, like 3 or 4, like it's always 3 or 4 high school boys work out together, and it's annoying as shit because they take up entire sections of the gym doing bullshit supersets. But I remember one time I was doing deadlifts in the gym, and 3 or 4 high school boys, and one of them was this like Zach Morris archetype of rich white kid,
rich
leader
white
of the pack, leader of
giant cell phone. Got it. Yes.
Yeah. And he gave me advice, unsolicited advice, and he was like, "Hey, that's not how you do squats." And I was like, "This is called a deadlift." And he was like, "Yeah, I know that, but that's not how you squat." I was like, okay, we're agreeing on the same thing. This is not how you squat. Yeah. This is how you deadlift.
When I do squats, you can come watch and see if I'm doing squats right or wrong. But you have to, that would have made me mad too. I'd have been like, the I know part, I think, is the
it's
part
just
that
like
bothers
the
you.
confidence dumb people have. Not even dumb, uneducated people have.
They think they're the exception, man. That's exceptional shit right there. How old do you think that kid was?
Oh, he's one of those Gen Z Zoomer, Mr. Beast loving.
Oh yeah. But at a certain point, he could even be Alpha, Gen Alpha, whatever they're using for that new younger, like literally kids that are still in school term. Because Gen Z, I feel like, is not. There's already another one. Yeah. So I'll say that maybe there's a thing of the like reverse. Like there's got to be a cyclical nature to it all, but like. The teenager that thinks that they know everything is also like kind of very ubiquitous. It's like everywhere. That's like every generation has that. Yeah. And I remember being a teenager thinking I knew everything and thinking this is the right way to do things. And I'm like, some of it has been proven wrong. Some of it has been proven right, but you don't know without the the advent of time, which ones are right or wrong, to have that much confidence. You should be like, hey, I think we should all be more curious, is what I'm saying. He should have asked you, is like, hey, is that a squat? Is that how you do your squats? No, this is a deadlift. Oh, so it's not a squat. Oh, okay, great. And now I've learned a new thing. Nobody does that anymore. But I don't want to make a generalization, but that does feel like teenagers are in their real deep in their I know it already era.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Anyway, we should probably wrap it up. My community goal for last week or last episode was to include as many people in my creative process. That is happening. I'm going to start a theater class on Monday.
Oh,
and
nice.
That is part of my creative process.
Nice.
I'm going to be I also am talking to some people about sharing some stories that may be written into things in the future. Just being communicative. I went to a birthday party and we were all just kind of talking about stuff. And it wasn't even about like talking about performance or comedy or anything like that. I was just talking about like work. And it was like, oh, that's interesting. Would you like to share that story? And someone was like, I would, sure, why not? Like it was the incident of I went to the Renaissance Fair and we got to put on a little outfit. Suddenly I was thinking all kinds of stuff for my character that I want to build for Dungeons and Dragons. All of these things. I was dressed as my wife and I went dressed as pirates. It was awesome.
Can you share the picture?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if let me share. I'll find it. Hold on. But I will say the goal of including other people in my creative process did feel if it worked, I think. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Share this tab. Hey, look at me. Oh, I cut you out.
Hey, look at you.
Hey, that's me as a pirate and some guy in the background. That hat is a demo that the guy who was selling it showed me. And he said, if you're interested in buying it, they start at $200. I was like,
Jesus.
No, thank you. I am not that committed to this look for a pirate. But it was fun. Like, it was just like, it was like interesting, like sharing people, interacting with people. It helps the creative process because it has helped me even creative problem solving for things that are not creative, right? Like work things that I've been providing like resources for people, and I've become like the go-to communications point of contact person for certain people, that it's like, let me use this tool that I use creatively for something else. Note-taking stuff that I use when I write, I've used it for work-related note-taking. So it's interesting how it all just breeds kind of problem-solving, creative solutions,
Yeah.
So I feel like it has worked. We'll see what comes of it, but it's an interesting place to kind of leave your mind at like an idle, like where you're always thinking about how you can include others in the creative process. It's interesting how there's another guy at UCB that I've been talking to because I go to one of the mics there, and he's like, I'm putting the show together. What do you think about this? And he asked me my advice. I gave it to him. He's like, that's great. Thank you. Whatever. And it's like, it's helped kind of just make me feel more connected to a community than isolated. I'll say that. Yeah. With that said, we're going to start closing out the show. We have our I feel like we did a good job. We achieving our focuses since last episode. Let's go into our goals for the next week, starting with our workout of the week. Our wow. Workout of the week. Wow. I will say I focused a lot on push-ups, which does a lot of work on the front, but it does not do a lot of work on the back. So I'm really going to try. I'm a heavy dude, and this is very hard, but I'm going to try and do pull-ups wherever I can, which means I have to find load-bearing structures that can support my weight, and I will, at the very least, hang from them. I want a full hang, and I'm going to do my best to find that. That might work out of the week, and I encourage everyone, like, if you're going to be doing, like, lat pull-downs or whatever it is, there's something very empowering about making your back strong that people, I think, it gets lost in the glory muscle focus, like the focus of the visual improvements. This is more of a infrastructure problem, infrastructure project. Yeah,
that is a big thing. I especially learned was that the pulling motions are just as important as the pushing motion. It's because it's also then you get an imbalance where if your chest is proportionally stronger than like your rhomboids, like for me especially, it was like, oh, I'm having back problems now.
But you also start to get hunchback. Like your body just naturally pulls more, and your shoulders roll forward. Have you seen those people that they have just like, it's not that their back is so large, it's that their chest is so overdeveloped that their shoulders roll forward.
Yeah,
they get the monkey arms. They get the ape hanging arms where their palms face back. Like that has to do with shoulders, your shoulders rotating more forward.
Yeah.
And like all of the shrugs that people do you need to pull, you need to have this developed.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really see on the video too close, but that side of things. But that, yeah, it's true. Like and also your arms get big. You fuck you big arms. You know, like every pulling motion that involves the arm involves the bicep in some way.
Also, if you do just a straight up dead hang, helps your grip strength. It also helps stretch out like I mentioned before, your abdominal fascia, stretches out your lower back, decompresses your spine. It's great. Just hanging there is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Just hanging. Hang in there, baby. That's the little kitty from the poster. What's your workout of the week, Will Watkins?
It doesn't sound too crazy, but it's a basic chest press on a chest press machine, but make a little alteration. I got this from Jared Feather, which is to get like a yoga block or even a bar pad or something like that, and stick it behind your shoulder blades. And just like you were mentioning before about doing the push up with the handlebars, it's going to give you a bigger stretch. So actually, what I've been doing this past week or so is doing that, and it's like I even had to like lower the weight. Where
that's how you know it's working.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, this is harder.
Not to brag, but on the chest press, I was doing like 280 with the pin, and I was like, oh man, I gotta, because I would also like hold it there for a second, where I was like, I gotta reduce this down to like 220, 210, maybe even 200. Where I was like, all right, let me just get it really all the way back there.
Yeah.
And man, that's my workout.
Because as we all know, you push a little too hard, that's when your left shoulder starts singing the song of its people. And then you're like, gotta take a break. It's like, no, here come left shoulder. Is that why the devil is always on this shoulder? This is my left if the camera's reversed. Is that because the right shoulder is the angel, right? Is it always the left shoulder is always in pain?
Is that the devil?
Is the devil in there?
The devil is tendonitis.
Oh no. The devil.
That could be another title for the episode. The devil is tendonitis.
The devil is tendonitis. So your chest press, that's a hard thing to say. Chest press machine, or were you doing it could you do it on a bench with free weights or something like that? Do you advocate? That feels a little unstable.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that might be a little more unstable. But that's basically what you do on a bench press is because you're,
right. Yeah.
So this is basically just allowing yourself to do the same bench pressing movement on a chest press, which gives you constant tension throughout the full range of movement. Whereas with the barbell, you're getting so much load down here.
Right.
This is going to help you out hit the full range of movement. Man, it was feeling good.
That's good. That's so it was the chest press with wider range, like improving the range of your chest.
Essentially, it's like a deficit bench press. So yeah, I'd say I guess you call it a deficit chest press. But yeah, chest press machine. Just throw something back there in between your shoulder blades, get you that full range of movement. Also helps. I was like, man, this is helping my form. Like I'm not like.
Yeah, like it demands structure. It demands. Yeah. I like that. With that said, so we have our workouts of the week are pull-ups or like lat pull down, anything that involves a big like a pulling motion. For me, that's my goal is and that'll be my we'll get into it. But and then the deficit chest press machine, the deficit chest press. On the chest press machine with a yoga block. That's a good focus. So we got a lot of the major muscle groups covered there. Let's start our weekly goals by body, mind, and community. I absolutely want to focus on my back is always a focus of mine, but genuinely now that I've been doing the push-ups and feeling that benefit, I'm going to really focus on the pull-ups, even those, what do they call them, Australian the ones where you like hang, where your feet are on the floor but you grab a bar and you do the, what are they called? I don't know the name of them. Someone called them Australian push-ups, and because of their inverted.
There's a different name for them, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and they're actually pretty hard to do. They're like body weight.
It is difficult, and I would like to do things. I'm realizing I may have been slacking off out of fear in the gym in terms of weight, that my body weight demands I ramp up a little bit. You know what I mean? My sheer size demands I kind of, hey man, we're not a small person. You got to do big boy things. And the big boy things involve your body weight as much as it does anything else. So get cracking. So I feel like as big as I am, me doing body weight right now is heavyweight stuff.
Yeah.
Until I drop more weight. So my body goal will be to focus on lengthening and stretching and improving the stability of my back with the workout of the week being pull-ups and lat pull downs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Body weight back, we'll call it. That's my, because I got to catchphrase everything. Body weight back. And I feel like, I'm going to run down my body, mind, and community. I feel like that once anytime I reduce pain and reduce like inconvenience, I reduce discomfort, I feel like my mind is more peaceful. So that's going to be my mind goal, I think, for the week, is doing the things that will soothe my tinnitus, soothe my back pain, like make things more. I want to make my body comfortable so that my mind is comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I want to comfort my or reduce the number of discomforts in my life, to give myself physical discomforts, like genuinely, like, my pants are too tight. You know, like you walk around and your underwear's too tight and you feel uncomfortable, and then someone talks to you and you're like, what? I don't care. You've now given your discomfort to somebody else because your underwear is wrong or whatever, something they can't see or be responsible for in any way. You've projected onto them. That's my goal there, is to reduce discomforts, reduce physical discomforts to calm my mind. And then I feel like that will only benefit the people around me, because I'm not constantly like in pain. Like my wife's not going to be like, hey, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, I don't care. And it's just because my ears are ringing or my back hurts or whatever. And she's like, all right, asshole, what do you want? I was just trying to be nice. That's the thing I'm trying to avoid. I feel like that all of these will tie together and do a triforce of benefit, collateral benefit will occur. Reduce physical discomfort. And
irritability, is that what you just wanted to?
Yeah, less irritable. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna wipe my ass better, so I'm not itchy all the time. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna properly hydrate, so I'm not just uncomfortable there. You know.
I like that the example you gave was how your underwear annoys you sometimes. So you had your panties in a bunch?
I literally had my panties in a bunch. Yeah, I think that's my peaceful mind. I hope to embrace others with once I've removed my physical discomforts, hopefully that will improve that will protect others from my projection. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What about you, Will? What are your body, mind, and community goals, relationship goals for the week?
All right, so body goals. I realized it's starting to get a little warmer in New York City, which means I should probably get ready for shorts season. So I'm going to focus on my calves. Because I've been neglecting the calves. I've been so worried about the hips and the glutes and the quads that I neglected the calvies, which are notoriously hard to train. But I'm hoping my fat guy calves have enough muscle memory to bounce back, and I'll get those going again.
What a collaterally beneficial thing to have been fat for a long time that I've never had to train calves in my life. I've never had to. My calves are like giant boulders because I was so heavy for so long that's like their default setting. And it's like, that's a benefit, I think.
I think I had that thought where I was like, oh no, it's worn off. It took these years, but I finally lost my fat guy calves. I got to start wearing like Converse shoes again. Like, oh my God.
You got to activate it. Yeah.
You know what? Because I have I go to a gym in Chelsea and New York City. I saw a guy with really nice calves, and I was like, I bet he's a drag queen. I bet he wears high heels.
That's so genius. Like, the ultimate calf workout is drag.
My goal is to have drag queen calves. That's like what my goal is now. Mind is to not focus on the news so much. Try to stay off the internet, try to as much as possible without, completely disconnecting and being aware. But, the mind was not designed to have 24 hours of news and social media and bad news coming out. So make sure I disconnect. I got that Red Dead Redemption I've been playing, which is very...
Ooh, we got to talk. We didn't even talk about that, man. We talked about too much anti-vax bullshit. We didn't get into the fun stuff of the week, but that's great.
I want to make sure I disconnect from the horrors of civilization. And the community is, maybe I need to next time I see that guy doing the back extension ab exercises, maybe I will say, hey, this is a little better.
I think you should peacock a little bit, dog. I think you should be, don't be afraid, rock out with the peacock out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've earned that right. If there's anybody, look, you don't have to take, again, these are all just words from a person that are not you. You are, everyone else in your life is a suggester. You are the decider. As a suggester, hey man, I don't see any harm, and you've earned it. You're good. You've built your body to be what it is. It's not by accident. So you have you're a walking display of your own authority, right? Like, are you not like that? Like, if you're walking around, like you are wearing your credentials in your skin.
Wow.
Like, there's nothing about your body that isn't yours, good or bad.
That would be a collateral benefit of working out, is that you can walk the walk and talk the talk.
Because you have already been walking the walk, you can talk a little talk, right? Like, you can talk a little talk. There's nothing wrong with that. So I would encourage you, go talk to that guy. That is, I fundamentally second and support your community outreach. But of just don't second guess yourself, because there is no, like, anyone who will see what you're doing would be naive to doubt your ability to have gotten there. Like Schwarzenegger says, when you look at a person who has a good body, nobody gave it to him. You know what I mean? Like that. So like, it's not like you were gifted anything. You earned whatever you got, for good or for bad, blah, 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 blah. But so I would say, reach out. Go if you're doing something that is in public. I'm not saying be like, hey everyone, come see how good I look, Ron Burgundy style. But I would say, do not diminish your accomplishments by doubting them. Doubting your contribution to them. You did it. So that's it.
All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, so your focus is on. We'll just say your focus is peacocking healthily. Peacocking. I think that everything healthily. You can do a lot of stuff that would normally get. Again, you're listening to someone else's idea of what should have happened. You're good. You're good. You're all right. You at least if there's ever any pushback, you can rely on the fact that you're like, no, I know what I'm talking about. This is just a disagreement. But I did what I did. I know that that's not a squat. That is a deadlift.
Yeah.
I know that that's not in question. But yeah. Well, Well, this another successful episode. I cannot believe how we're batting 1,000, 100% success rate on all of these episodes. So fun.
Not a single,
not a single flop. These are all bops, no flops. Thank you everybody for watching. We stream on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook. And you can follow us at Zeros on Heroes on social media things, but you can follow us individually at Mike Mercadal, at William A. Watkins on the social media platforms. We encourage you to send us your success stories. Send us something you're working on that you would love advice on, or just something you want to share, like that involves the mind, body, and community journey. How have you collaterally benefited in your self-improvement journey? Those are always fun to share. We love a good story. We love a good anecdote. We're not, please shout out, let us know. And you can always join us live, get in the comments, and we'll talk. Join us next week. We'll see how we all did. Send us your body, mind, fitness goals as well. We'd love to see and check and see how y'all did as well. If anything, you can just use us as a touchstone to remind yourself, we're like, oh yeah, I was supposed to be doing push-ups. Oh yeah. And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Will, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we go?
No, I just want to say, hey, you're looking good, man.
I'm just trying to look like you, bro. Just trying to look like you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Remember to go out and
be heroic.